Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Good morning, Miss Marie. How are you today?
Hello, Rob. I am doing great. How are you?
Look at us wearing almost the same color shirts and didn't even talk to each other. I didn't realize until just now. That's kind of scary, Marie.
I better go change.
Your microphone is cutting in and out, so just to let you know, folks, if you lose her, just bear with us, as sometimes technical difficulties will pop up. So sometimes as a gap, Marie, I may ask you to repeat your statement or question or input. So bear with us, folks.
All right. Well, hopefully that won't be a continuing problem here.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's actually getting worse. You're actually the delay. You stop talking and your voice just keeps going. So
it's a gift.
You might want to log off. You might want to log off and try and log back in, because that's going to cause real problems.
All right. Let me do that real quick.
Hey, Marie, did it work this time?
I hope so. You tell me. Can you hear me now?
It is not working, and there is a huge delay, but we're going to work through it, and we're going to make it happen. So, with that being said, Marie, please bear with me as I try to listen to the delay before I respond.
Well, you know what, Rob? I think we might have a technical problem coming through your side because I checked the YouTube channel, and while you were talking, I couldn't really hear you. It was very garbled.
Aha, interesting. Well, I'll have to check it out. We had some people on and they left, and it might be because of the fact that what you said, the audio is not working. I'll have to check that out. We're just going to forge ahead and work through it. Your last comment came through loud and clear. Okay, well, with that being said, if you will, give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear and understand the points that we're making in advance. We're going to say thank you. And obviously, we are going to be talking about the good today, the bad, and the ugly. And for all of you on the podcast, we're obviously going to start with the good. And the good is really pretty much always the same, although there are some other characteristics that we would talk about, like the leveraging capabilities of the business model. But here's the thing. The good about this business model is this. It's the money, the lifestyle, and the time freedom. I mean, that is at the very top. That's the essence of the business. That's why people join this business. They want one of those three. The money, obviously, is going to be a personal decision where people want to stop, whether it's $500 a month, $5,000 or $50,000. Yes, that is where it's a personal decision on the money. But the lifestyle comes from the money, and the time freedom is unilaterally attached to the lifestyle. Here's the point: people enjoy the time that they have to do what they want to do because of the money, and the lifestyle is the result of that time freedom. In other words, if you have the time to lay around, if you have the time to go out and shop, if you have the time to travel, if you have the time to be with family and go on vacations each and every month, that is an awesome thing. That is time freedom. You get to choose what you do and when. That is inherently attached to the lifestyle. Because if somebody says, hey, Rob and Marie have a great lifestyle, that encompasses the vacations, that encompasses being on the beach, sitting by the poolside, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, they all kind of work together, because you can't have the lifestyle and you certainly can't have the time freedom without what? Money. So they're all obviously attached to one another. And if you want $500 a month, that can have an impact on your personal life. That is a proven fact. I forget the statistics. I'll have to look it up again someday. But it used to be that I forgot who did this survey. $400 a month would have saved like 70-something% of people from filing bankruptcy. Okay, $400 extra a month. But the thing is, the people didn't have time to work a second job, okay, to create that $400. And so they were really kind of stuck. They needed the money, but they really didn't have the time. They might have had children. They might have had a job that worked 12, 14 hours a day, then had to take their kids or help them with their homework. There was no personal time for them to create that extra $400. That's pretty sad. So if you were able to utilize this business model and leverage its capabilities, you could create money that would put you in a position that you would never have to worry about. I won't say never have to worry about that bankruptcy, right? That takes a lot of pressure off. That takes a lot of stress off, knowing that you have that taken care of, and you can do that in this business. That is an example of a little bit of money. And I know to a lot of people that $500 is a lot of money, and I'm certainly not demeaning that in any way. But what I'm saying is that little bit of money that you can make in this business can have a huge impact, and certainly has nothing to do with the money, lifestyle, time freedom we talk about. But it's still a critically important point that we want to make, because it has such a huge impact on people's lives. So we never, you'll never hear us discount anybody making money. I don't care if you're making $50 a month in network marketing. That is a positive. And I mean that sincerely, because you'd be amazed at how many people don't make any money in network marketing. Okay, so if you're making money in network marketing, we give you 2 thumbs up. Oops, there we go. 2 thumbs up, because guess what? You're doing something positive. You're impacting your own life. You're impacting other people's life, because you didn't get that check. Well, typically you don't get that check by you buying product. It's typically you and about 4 or 5 other people. And that's good. That's good. So a lot of positive about that. Wouldn't you say there, Ms. Marie? You got anything else to add to the good about network marketing?
Well, I think one of the big goods about network marketing in this day and age is the ability to work from home. Because a lot of people, if they want to earn that extra income, oftentimes they think about getting that second job. Well, what does that entail? That means traveling somewhere to go work for someone else, being away from your home and your family, and then traveling home. So there's a huge time investment there. Meanwhile, in this industry, especially with the technology that's available today for people to leverage, you can be home with your family and actually be working the business at the same time. So you can spend less time, quote unquote, away from your family in your home office or wherever you need to remove yourself to work for a little bit to earn that extra income. So it's absolutely one of the best options out there right now, I believe.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, it's hard to beat the business model, period. There's so many advantages, which we'll talk about in future freelance episodes, because there's so many advantages. And we're just talking about the 3 main ones here, because most of the people are very aware of these 3 items here. I would say that without exception, and I think I would be pretty darn accurate in making this statement, I would say close to 100% of the people that join network marketing eventually say that the money, the lifestyle, and the time freedom was one of the biggest reasons that they joined. Some people will say the product, there's no doubt. Okay, and I don't put the product in the good, because the product is just a tool. It's not the end result. The good about the industry is that it can have a major impact on your life. Think about it, guys. If you can create money in this business that can rival just about any industry, period. Okay, there's no limit. The company doesn't say, hey, Rob, we're going to put the ceiling on you. You can only make, $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month, whatever the case may be, or $30,000, whatever. Okay, they don't do that, because they realize when you grow, they're going to grow too. So there's no limit, and there is a realistic limit. I mean, let's be honest, guys. It's very rare that people are going to make millions a month, although there are people that have done that, I guarantee you. Okay, and that's not the issue here, because for the rest of us, we still have the capability of making amazing money. So, one of the things about human beings is that we realize internally, naturally, that money is one of the necessities of life. I hate it when people say money's not everything. I agree with that. Money doesn't make you happy. I agree with that. Okay, but I'm going to tell you something. Money will make your life a whole lot happier. I'll tell you that. Because if you have more than enough, guys, the lifestyle can create. And let's get away from sitting on the beach. Let's get away from driving the cars and having the homes. Okay, all that's nice. But here's the thing. You want to talk about a lifestyle? How would you like to wake up every day and not have any stress? Now, stress is part of life. I don't think you can eliminate stress 100%. Here's the bottom of what I'm saying. You do not have work-induced stress. You do not have work travel-induced stress. You do not have work-related meetings stress. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. And when you have all that, you go to work and you're being bombarded by your coworkers, by your subordinates, by your peers, by your superiors. And then you're getting bombarded by timetables and reports. You got to be at this meeting, you got to be at that meeting, and then tomorrow you got to travel here. And so at work, you are multitasking at a high level. Okay. And you don't realize that there's a lot of stress, internal stress that happens. And when you have that internal stress, I'll be honest with you guys, sometimes you'll say, man, I'm really tired. And a lot of times there's not things wrong with you. Now, I'm not a doctor, but sit down and think about what I'm saying. And a lot of you will relate. What happens is that when you are dealing with constant stress that you kind of ignore, you put blinders on like we do when we're driving down the road. You're driving down the road and you're traveling 100 miles. You see billboard ad on the road all the time. Do you realize it would drive you absolutely nuts if you tried to look at every ad, and if those ads literally bombarded your brain, your body and your mind will block out 99% of those ads. If it didn't, it would drive you nuts. Well, guess what? Stress, you get so accustomed to it that you monitor it and you adjust it and you deal with it internally, subconsciously, without even realizing it. But guess what? It's having a wear and tear effect on your body. Your body temperature on the inside, your organs are working overtime. You're not eating right. You're not sleeping right. Your organs are looking for nutrition. They're trying to keep you healthy. You're not providing enough nutrition. And a lot of times the proper nutrition, your body's working overtime. Your organs, they work harder when they don't get the nutrition and when they're dealing with stress. And so you only have so many heartbeats in this world. You only have so many kidney functions, so many bladder functions. Why waste them on stress? Here's the thing. You got to eliminate as much of that stress as you possibly can. This business with its lifestyle can do that. Think about it. If you don't have a job, you don't have all those stresses bombarding you. The only stress you have is dealing with family issues. And I don't mean negative ones. Hey, I got to take the kids to Junior's got to go to baseball. Susie's got to go to soccer. And then we have to stop at the grocery. You have family-induced items that are stressful, but you can monitor that because it's really relatively mild compared to the high-level work-induced stress, okay? So I know I'm kind of dragging this point out just a little bit, but I want to impose upon you the lifestyle that you can have here can be life-changing, and it all comes from the money. So is it worth pursuing? Remember, I told you guys, it's the same effort, the same tools, the same commitment, the same everything to build a business, in a successful business, in an old company as it is a new. So why not make as much money as you can so you can change your life and have the lifestyle? I'm telling you, I've been there. I still have an incredible life. I have very little stress. Look at my head. I have hair. Do I not, Marie?
You do.
And I'm not worn out. I mean, if you were to look at my body, a lot of people say, man, you look like you're in your 50s. It's because I take care of myself and I don't have all this stress I deal with. I have an incredible life and I have very little stress. Yeah, I do have stress. That's just part of being alive. So anyway, I got through that rant. I wanted to make my point, Marie. Did I leave anything out? Is there anything that you want to bring up?
Well, I really appreciated the point you made about product being a tool in the business. I would also add to that the product is actually part of the lifestyle.
It is.
Because if you look at the products in our network marketing companies, health and wellness, fitness, weight loss, cleaning products, beauty products, those all contribute to our lifestyle as well and the improvement of them and the longevity and health in a lot of cases. As we build the business and make that money, that contributes to the lifestyle. So it's all kind of comes together there.
That's a very good point. It is something that I missed, and I appreciate you bringing it up. Yeah, she is absolutely right. And your thing is working wonderful now.
Okay, good.
It hasn't just been an internet thing. I've had struggles all day with the internet, and it may in fact be. I know that I use, let's see here, NordVPN, the virtual protection network. And I know that their servers earlier this morning, because I've been up since 1 a.m. And
oh my goodness.
Yeah, a lot of work to catch up on. So anyway, I know that it was struggling, and it said servers overloaded, which I've never seen before. So I bet you're right. I think there might have been what the issue was, but it was going through on your end. Of course, I don't hear myself. You hear it, but there was a huge delay, but it's fixed now, and that's awesome. So anyway, she's absolutely right. The product, it plays a big role in the lifestyle, and I should have brought that up. As you guys know, I'm not a product person, so I rarely think about the product. And once again, I'm not anti-product. Let's make that clear. That's not what I'm saying. And that I would never say that. It plays a critical role. But then again, like she said, it's a tool to me, and I don't think about it that often. Although I have always been a product of the product, guys. I always take my product. I've never been one of those leaders that promoted the company's product and didn't take them myself. And there are people that do that, and that's just flat out wrong. So we talked about the money. The money gives you the lifestyle, the time freedom. Guys, I cannot even begin to tell you. I know that Marie has her own stories about this. I cannot tell you how wonderful it is for me. I cannot imagine being in a structured environment. My day flows, pretty much like water. It'll go, the water flows, freely wherever the banks take it, right? The thing is that my life, my day-to-day life's like that. It's like, okay, I'm having a good time. Oops, the wife wants me to go here. And so I'm fluid enough and have no commitments where I'm on the dime. I can say, oh, okay, I'll go, to the grocery. I'll go to the post office, whatever the kid, go pick up the kids, whatever the case may be, I can do it. All right. If I want to go to the gym, I can pick any time during the day to go to the gym. If I want to go running, I can pick any time during the day to do that. Take the dogs for a walk. I have no schedule outside of my business commitments. I have no schedule. And I cannot imagine doing that structured environment anymore, and that's kind of the polar opposite of what I had in the corporate world, because in case you people don't know, I've been in the corporate world. I've worked for some of the largest companies in the world, Ford, UPS, Papa John's International. I could go on and on and on. But the thing is that at the same time, in the military, that was the ultimate time management program, because the military always told you, if you had an appointment at 12, you better be there at 11:45, because if you're not, you're late. That's the way they operated. There was no such thing as being late in the military. If they told you to be somewhere, you better be there. And think about it. You were told what to say, what to wear, where to go, when to be there, what to do. Every facet of your life is monitored and controlled by the military. And if you think about it, they use communism to fight communism. Because in the military, you give up your rights pretty much. You don't give up your constitutional rights, but you give up your personal rights to serve your country. It has to be a structured environment. So every facet of your life is monitored and controlled. And now I have the time free to do whatever in the world I want to do. And I'll tell you, I'll take this all day long. What about you, Marie?
I have been psychologically unemployable for decades now.
There you go.
I definitely appreciate some structure, though, and I know that's one of the areas where some folks struggle when they gain that time freedom. They almost lose the ability for the structure. So some people, you need to enforce your own structure in order to get things done and have a certain level of productivity. Because certainly doing this business requires some commitments and some things that have to be done at certain times. And, if you're going to be at a convention or an event or something like that, obviously that involves travel and needing to be somewhere at a certain time. But man, overall, day to day, it's so much less stressful. I remember when I stopped working in the corporate world for the first time, it was about a month after I had left my last job, that I was driving down the road and I realized I had somewhere I had to be, but I wasn't stressed about the time, because it wasn't that constant nagging feeling that there's just too much to do, not enough time to get it done. And it makes all the difference in the world, for sure, in stress level. And you went over that very thoroughly. So,
right. And I agree. I feel for the people that have that structured environment. Look, I want to make this something clear here as well. Look, I'm not anti-work. Look, I come from a long family of hard workers. I am not afraid. I take great pride in doing my job and being professional about it and doing not just a good job. I always strive to go above and beyond. That's been ingrained in me. So I'm not afraid of hard work. That isn't the issue. My employer, here's what I told the people that work for me, and this is essentially the same thing I did in network marketing. But here's the thing: I told the people, I said, look, you know what? I know that you're not many people are happy with their jobs. I get that, but we all have to do the things that we have to do in order to put food on the table. So, let's get past the little, how would you say, pissing contest or whatever the case may be, in regards to you being upset coming to work because you don't like what you do. Look, when you come through that door, what you're telling me is that you want to be here for whatever reason, putting food on the table, you enjoy the job, whatever, or you have no place else to go. When you walk through that door, you're telling me that you want to be here because you want to be paid, okay? And you're telling me that you're willing to be a part of a team because you know that we have goals that we have to get done each and every day. So if that's not the case, don't come back. I can fill out the discharge paperwork right now and you can go find another job. That's fine. I'd hate to see you go, but I understand you have other goals. You don't like it here for whatever reason. That's fine. I totally get that. I'll help you go out the door. Okay. But if you walk through that door every day, you know that we have things as a team we have to get done. And I expect you to be part of that team in a positive manner. Even if you don't like what's going on, just keep your comments to yourself. Let's all get through this together. Let's get these things. Let's have fun. Let's cut up. And you know what? I've rarely had any absentee issues. I rarely had production. We set all kinds of records. And it's because of the team, not because of me. But you know what? I laid it out and I told people, hey, if you don't want to be here, that's fine. Just go away. I can help you make that happen. And you know what? When people, just communication, that's all it is. And when they know where you stand, well, the same thing in network marketing, when you lay out, hey, this is what we got to do, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And you tell people, here's why. And I tell people that all the time. You got to tell them why you're doing those steps. Okay. Do you want that boat? Do you want that home? Do you want that extra $500 a month? Yes, Rob, I do. Well, hey, here's how it works. These 5 steps, it's all it takes. If you can do those, yes, I can do those. Those are easy to remember. Those are easy to do. If you'll help me and work with me and train me, I'll be able to do that. Okay, we can do that. And you know what? Now they have a vision and a roadmap to get their boat, to get that $500, whatever. And they are a willing participant in that team environment because they understand. And so the communication once again. And folks, that gives you the time freedom when you're able to duplicate yourself over and over by communicating that to people. You eventually get where Marie is and you get where I am, where you say, I don't want to work anymore. And we're not anti-work, but Marie and I both have, like everybody else, we've had jobs and we probably jobs we didn't like. I certainly did.
Well, and it eventually allows you to get to the point where you're doing work, you're still a productive member of society, but you're doing things that you really enjoy, right? I think that's one of the most misleading things out there that we tell our graduates in the US, at least, that, hey, pursue your passion. You'll never have to work a day in your life. And it goes back to what you said before, Rob. Oftentimes we have to do some of the things we don't really want to do in order to earn an income, to put food on the table, to support our families, to get to some of the goals we want to achieve. But that doesn't have to be a life sentence. We can have the ability to, eventually earn an income that allows us to do the things that we really enjoy, that can make us money, but maybe not enough to support us. So again, it's one of the reasons why I love this industry. Working in this industry is hard work in its own way, but man, there are so many other things out there that are much more miserable to be doing on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I agree with that. I agree. And so, folks, as you can tell, we're always going to promote this business model because there's so many wonderful things it can do for you. We don't want to keep beating a dead horse here. Well, because we bring up the money, the lifestyle, the time, freedom a lot. but we're trying to drive the point home to you guys that it's worth it. Okay, that's the reason why we talk about it, to motivate you, to get you to focus in on that, and to identify what it is you want. Do you want the money? Or is the lifestyle more important to you? Or is it the time freedom? And maybe it's all three. Look, it only needs to be one of the three. You know, for me, it was all three. No ifs, ands, or buts. I wanted all three of those, especially the time freedom. That was a biggie for me. You know, I inherently knew that the money, I had to create the money in order for me to have the time freedom. I wanted the ability to go where I wanted to go and do what I wanted to do. Now, you notice I didn't talk about a home. I didn't talk about a car. Anybody that knows me knows I love cars. Me and my brother have had some of the most expensive cars you can have. We've had multiple of those. My brother has many of them in storage right now. Okay. I don't have as many anymore. And my dad used to say, boy, what in the hell are you doing spending all that money on those cars? Dad, have you ever driven one? If you drive one, you'll understand why we love those cars. But we don't talk about that crap. My dad never talked about money, never talked about any of that. And he was a millionaire, multimillionaire. But here's the thing. Those things weren't important to him. Like most wealthy people, he lived in a humble home and drove a beat up old truck. You would never know, but we never talked about money because the money wasn't an issue with us. We didn't care. And I promise you guys, we lived like poor country folk. We did not live like rich people. And we were happy with that. I had wonderful memories of my life. But as I grew up, I wanted more than that. I only get one shot at this life. And I'm not preaching here, but I only get one shot. I like the finer things in life. I wanted to live in the better part of town. My dad didn't live in the bad part of town at all. Okay. But he lived in more of a country setting. That was cool. I grew up in the country. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's a great lifestyle, but I wanted more than that. I enjoyed Dallas-Fort Worth immensely. I enjoyed LA immensely. Minneapolis, St. Paul, you go on and on. But also I was lived in places you can't even find on the map, the U.S. map. That's no joke. And I had a great time there too. So the point is, I wanted the better things in life. And if you've ever driven one of those cars, you'll get it. You understand. The lifestyle, guys, I've been so blessed. And I mean that sincerely. Sometimes I go through the pictures that I've taken over the years. And I think pictures, despite video, are still, to me, the most emotional things I can look at. I'll take a picture over a video anytime. Now, I have plenty of videos of family. When I go back and look at the pictures, the places I've been and the things I've done, which is amazing when I sit back and look, because I've always been on the go. I never sat still. But here's the thing, man, the memories, the experiences I've had, and I couldn't have done that without the money, right? I couldn't have done that without the time freedom. And I just am flabbergasted at the life that I've been able to live. And I encourage you guys to pursue that as well. The time freedom was the most important thing because I wanted to drive up and down the coast. I wanted to go from one side of the country to the other. I wanted to go to Canada. I wanted to go to Cancun and Cozumel and Acapulco and all these other places. And what great, great memories I've been able to create because I had the time freedom. You got to understand, in order for me to have the time freedom, I had to have the money. Okay, so we're going to move past that. Miss Marie, you got anything to add to that?
Nope, I am good. We're ready for the next topic. Where are we going next?
We're going to the bad. Ooh.
Oh.
There's always a yin and a yang.
There's no such thing as a perfect anything in this world, right? And it applies to our business as well. So it would be remiss of us if we didn't address the bad side of the industry as well.
I agree. And, we want to be truthful here. And that's exactly what we're doing is we're addressing everything as we always say. And, sometimes the bad and the ugly are more important than the good. And because if you avoid the bad and the ugly, then you're on the path of the good. So just to let you know, it's the reason why we talk about it, because you need to know some of this stuff. But with that being said, let's talk about the bad here. For those of you on the podcast, the bad in this situation is that new companies are very volatile in nature. And you say, well, what does that got to do with what we're talking about? Because the good was, the time freedom and money and all that. Well, here's the thing, guys. In order for you to reach the ability to have the time freedom, the lifestyle, and the money, you're always going to hear me promote the newer companies over the older companies. Okay. And we've talked about that many times, so I'm not going to delve deep into that. Here's the thing. You have the ability, as we talked about, 70% of the wealth is created in a phase one company. When a company goes from phase one into phase two, there's still a 30%, sometimes a 50%, 30% chance in a phase two company to create wealth. Look, there's a lot of odds in your favor with a new company. It would be silly, and it would also be remiss of me not to promote a new company, because your time is valuable. A lot of people in today's world are very busy and they're strapped for money. They can't afford to throw their money away. They can't afford to waste their valuable time on something, regardless of what it is, that's not going to give them a return. So if I'm truly here to help you, if I'm truly here as an advocate of the industry, then my job as a spokesperson, and I'm not an official spokesperson, but an unofficial spokesperson for this industry that I love, you need to know everything about it. And the bad is part of it. And the bad about the new companies is they're volatile in nature. And that means, as we talked about even the last few episodes, which I'm not going to delve into, because you can go back and pull up on SoundCloud, Blueberry, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, on and on. Look, guys, here's the thing. You go into a new company, it's got a 90% chance of failing within the first 3 to 5 years. That is a statistic that's been around forever, right, Marie? It hasn't changed to this day.
Well, and that statistic applies to almost any business, right? It's not just the network marketing companies. So don't think that's special to us.
That's right. It's any. So the thing is that you have to realize, guys, the statistics don't lie. Does it mean that the company you're joining is going to go out of business? No. What it's saying is, as a group, when they take the stats from across the country, regardless of industry, and let's say 3.2 million businesses were started in 2020, and in the beginning of 2021, in other words, January 1st, 2021, all of a sudden they look back and 90% of those 3.2 million are gone. Okay. And that number means not that they fell in 1 year, although that does happen, especially with the situation that we're in now across the world. What those numbers reflect is the last 3 to 5 years. In other words, from 2015 to 2020, 90% of the businesses failed. Okay. So here's the thing. Nobody can sit down and say the company XYZ is going to fail because it started in 2019. Okay. If you join that company in 2019, you just have to keep 1 foot in the company and work it hard, and 1 foot out. And I tell you the guys all the time, and I have people contact me. What do you mean by that? What do you get that? What it means is that when I say you have 1 foot out, that means keep your ears open and your eyes open and your ears to the ground. Listen for any potential problems that the new company may be going through. When Marie and I were in the industry, if a new company made an adjustment to the comp plan, that was a telltale sign. Okay. Does it always mean bad things? No, sometimes comp plans need to be adjusted as a company's growing, and it can be a good thing. Okay. And sometimes they adjust it because the numbers are reflecting that, hey, it was good on paper, but it's not working the way we want it in reality. So we need to make some adjustments. But also what happens is that they'll make changes to a comp plan because the big leaders are saying, look, if I don't get paid more money, I'm out here. And they're like, oh, crap, we can't afford that. And they'll say, well, hey, we'll give you an extra $500,000 check right here, right now. And they'll say, no, because I'll make more royalties than that in the next 3 or 4 months. I don't want it. Yeah, that $500,000 is almost an insult to me. No, you need to fix the comp plan, and if you don't, within the next 6 months, I'm out of here and I'm taking my organization with me. Okay. Those things do happen. Okay. I mean, at the same time, they'll say, oops, you know what? We got too many people that aren't at the newbies that aren't making enough money. So we need to make adjustments. Well, I'm going to tell you, it ain't coming from the top because the big shots are not going to take a pay cut. They'll leave. I just told you that story. So where does it typically come from? In the middle, the transitional. Why? Because there's not that many people that go from part-time to full-time. They can afford to hide that deficiency for a while and pay the new people more money, or they raise the price of the product. See, these are telltale signs as a veteran that, when Maria and I have been around the business and you start seeing these things happen with a new company, guess what? That's keeping your eyes open, and then you start listening for little rumors floating around. Will those rumors get down to the downline? No. A lot of times people will email me or call me. I can say, let me give you the real life example, and I'll make it quick. There was a company I was with that really had great promise, wonderful promise. I was very excited the first time in network marketing in a long time. This company had everything, all the check marks. Never thought I'd see a company like this in network marketing. Again, it had a very unique product that people wanted. It worked. It was a wonderful delivery system, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the thing. It had one big issue. And I'll tell you what that issue is here shortly. But anyway, here's the thing. I was connected enough that I had other people who were literally on the ground floor of this company when it started. One individual's name was Larry. He called me. We had a great talk. And he told me, he said, Rob, he said, I'd like for you to come join. He was the head recruiter at the corporate level with this new company, which I won't name. Anyway, he said, Rob, I was one of the big people at the so-and-so company that you're currently with. I left because of, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. And I was like, I don't really know. I know who you are, but I really don't know you. And I'm not really, to be honest with you, going to trust you. He said, well, I'll log into my back office right now and I'll tell you where you are. He said, because you're under me. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I've got 22,000 people under me. And so he logged into the back office. He told me exactly what I bought, told me. So I knew he was telling the truth. And the bottom line is he left that company that I was so excited about because of one thing. And he begged that company to make changes and they wouldn't do it. And it was the cost of the product. It was so overpriced. It was pricing people out. And if they didn't make money to cover the auto ship each and every month, they were gone. So the business model wasn't going to work. They had a major flaw in it, but they were making money hand over foot as far as the company goes and not really paying the distributor for us other than the big shots, what they wanted. And this individual, Larry, was not going to be a part of that. And he knew that it was just a matter of time before the company failed. I stayed with the company because I did not want to jump from one company to another. I told him that. I respected him for calling me. I was flattered that he called me, had enough respect for my abilities to call me and trying to recruit me into this new company, which was a good company. It's still around to this day. But the thing is that I had to make a stand. Okay, if you're going to have integrity, you got to make a stand sooner or later. I knew there was a chance he was right, but I had to take that chance, right? And what I'm saying is that is the volatility of the new company. And I stood and I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I decided to keep the 1 foot in, or both feet in, really, because I made a stand, and it ended up biting me in the ass. Okay, let's just put it bluntly. Okay, because he was absolutely spot on. And then I talked to some other of the big leaders that there was a lot of legal issues going on that we talked about after they left the company. And so, that's when it's like anything else, guys, when you've been around in the industry a long time and you get around, you get to know people that are in the know and people that are on the ground floor, and you learn all these little telltale signs of a company, especially a new company. You don't have those things in an old company. You don't have to worry about pay plan adjustments, right, Marie? I mean, they're as stable as you can get. And
exactly.
yes. Have you ever experienced a new company going through stuff like that?
Oh, sure. I've been in companies where I've been excited, got in early, things were going well, products were great, the people were fantastic, and there was one in particular, it was almost an internal infighting in the ownership that eventually dissolved the company. And that really kind of leads us into the ugly of the industry, right? The fact that you can be involved with a great product, a great compensation plan, what apparently is a great company, and it can disappear overnight.
Yeah.
And there goes your income along with it, right?
I've been there.
Yep. So have I.
I'll talk about that in a minute. Yes, absolutely. And that's a very good point. A great segue into the ugly side here. So we'll close out the bad here, guys. Just keep in mind that new companies are volatile. It does not mean do not give a full effort. That's not what I'm saying when I say keep 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. You've got to give it 100%. What I'm saying is that if you see multiple telltale signs, and we talk about those in the members area, which will become available down the road. But here's the thing, guys, you have to realize that as a leader, you have a responsibility to yourself and your family and your downline, especially your leaders. If you get reliable information about the company really struggling and they're not sure they're going to be able to make payroll over the next couple of months, you have an obligation to get your leaders together on a conference call, a Zoom call, whatever, that's private, and say, guys, here's what's going on. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to jump ship. Everybody can agree to stay on until the checks stop coming. Okay. Or you can say, hey, let's all just leave en masse and let's go to another company. But I'm going to tell you, it's hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice. And what I'm saying is that, yeah, you built it one time. Hopefully, God willing, you listened to us and you paid off your debt, as much of it as possible, so that if it does go out of business, you're not stuck with your pants down, embarrassed in front of everybody. Okay. The bottom line is that you want to utilize this opportunity to get yourself in a better life situation. So the bottom line on this whole bad thing about the new companies is that it looks like there's a storm coming. That's the reason why I keep glancing over. We're not supposed to have rain today. I look outside, it looks like it's nighttime. It's so dark. So anyway, we just want to make sure abundantly clear that we're not saying if you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out with a new company that you're just giving a half-ass effort. That's not what we're saying. We're saying keep your ears and eyes open. That's what the 1 foot out means. To be ready on a new company to eject if the facts, not your interpretation, not your imagination, not don't be a big shot and say, yo, we're going to leave. People they own their own businesses. Just because you're the leader and you sponsor them, it doesn't mean diddly squat. They can choose to stay. It's their business, not yours. They're just in your group, okay? And you develop a professional business relationship with them and possibly a personal relationship. But here's the thing. You have to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, meaning just keep your eyes and ears open with a new company so that you guys don't get caught with your pants down and the checks stop coming, which could hurt people. So there you go. All right, we're done with the bad. Let's go to the ugly. All right, guys, all of you on the podcast, now we're on the ugly. Once again, if you like this information, please give us a thumbs up. If you like what you hear and you understand the points we're making, we ask that you give us a thumbs up. We ask that you share this information. We say thank you in advance. We really appreciate that. And always send us comments. Always leave us comments. Ask questions. We are more than happy to answer that. And there's going to be some good changes coming. And as far as the total social media platforms and the website here next week, a lot of changes coming because Marie and I are just filling each other out. We've got this new program going, and we're going to continue to make it better each and every week. So with that being said, let's look at the ugly side of things here. With a new company, they can go out of business overnight. Marie already alluded to that. Marie, have you ever had that happen?
Yep, I sure have, and it's sad when it takes people by surprise. Obviously, like you said, if you keep your eyes open and your ear to the ground, you can have some warning that it's coming. But oftentimes for the vast majority of the people in the organization, it seemingly comes out of the blue. And part of that's because a lot of us are just working our businesses. We've got our heads down and we're just working away. And all of a sudden it's like, what happened?
Yes.
So
yes, absolutely. Uh-huh.
That's one of the worst feelings in the world is to feel like all that time and effort you put in are just like wiped out overnight, right?
Oh, oof. Been there. Golly, was that terrible? Bad decisions on my part. I put myself in that position. I was investing money in multiple things, and including additional businesses, and I spread myself too thin because I thought the company I was with was rock solid, and so I was dependent on that money coming in each and every month, and came back and bit me big time. And I had no one to blame but myself. I learned a valuable lesson. I knew what I was doing was wrong. The basics of finances, you don't do that, and I did. I tried to beat the odds, and guess what? The odds caught up with me. That was a humbling experience to look your family in the eye and say, "Oh crap, guys, I've made big boo-boo." That was not a fun time in my life.
Well, and that's one of the things that can be ugly in this industry as well, is you come in, you catch it early, you catch that momentum and that huge growth, and you start making those big checks, and you make the mistake that a lot of us do, in that your expenses start meeting your income, right? You're spending all the money rather than paying off debt, putting some away to save it. So, just good, solid financial practices are always something you want to employ to keep yourself from being in that ugly position.
Yeah. And what's funny is that I taught my downline to do that for years, and I didn't heed my own advice. Hey, I make mistakes. I'm human too. I'm not going to act like I'm some superhuman that never makes mistakes. I made a big boo-boo, and I'll own up to it. If I do something wrong, I'll own up to it, no matter how embarrassing it is or how silly it may be. If I made that mistake, I'm going to say, yep, that was me. I did it. And you know what? That sucks. I was wrong. And I don't do things behind the scenes until somebody catches me. You get so caught up in life, you don't even think sometimes that that you're making that basic mistake. And as you get older, you kind of get confident, you're just like, well, that's okay. I think I can beat it. Well, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's going to get you.
Right.
So anyway, here's the thing. You guys realize, remember we talked about how business works in thirds. You again realize that you have a legitimate business. It works in thirds. We're not going to talk about the 90-day mini blast. Here's what I'm saying. You join a new company, you've got things rolling, you've set a wonderful business foundation, one that can catapult you to incredible heights over the next couple of years. And you start hearing things about the company, and you're following our advice and to pay off your debt and to save money. You should put 2/3 of this extra money that you're making in network marketing into paying bills, and 1/3 into an account, an emergency savings account, so that if the company goes out of business, you've got 3 months worth, because I always told you guys, keep 3 months. Life works in thirds. Most of the illnesses that people go through, doctors tell you that if you can make it through the 3 months critical point, then maybe you'll be on the upside based on what the illness is. Okay, statistics bear that out. Well, in business world, companies are the same way. And you say, what do you mean? If a company starts having financial issues, they know that they can make it past the 3-month mark and make adjustments along the way, that chances are they're going to make it through it. But here's the thing. Because business in life, and this business here works in thirds, if you start having problems, or if the company word gets out, the company is starting having problems, let's say in January of this year, you better have made adjustments in January, because by March, no later than April, you're going to be in big trouble. If you're not, a company could go out of business, can put you in a terrible bind. Look, it'll work in thirds. Companies rarely wake up one day and say, "Oh, all the money's gone." Typically, what ends up happening is that in November, there's telltale signs that the new company's having problems. They immediately try to find out why they're having these problems and make adjustments or fix it. December comes around. If the adjustments are not working, then they're going to panic and start looking for funding or make more adjustments or hire new people. And then by January, it's either made progress where they can see positive progress being made, even if it's incremental, or they're going to see that the situation is getting worse and maintaining the bad nature. And they're on, the what is that thing? The line that is on a heart machine. What's that called?
Line on a what machine?
A heart machine. When you're hooked up the heart machine.
Oh, the EKG?
Yeah, well, the heart line, whatever it is, it's going to.
Yep.
I forget what it's called, but anyway, the point is, the company's on life support, and it's a real weak signal. So what I'm saying in November is when the signs started. Well, guess what? When they go out of business in January, it wasn't because January was a bad month. It was because November, okay, the last part of October and the first part of November were bad, and these problems popped up. Usually companies fight like the dickens to get through that 3-month cycle, because typically they have funding for 3 months. Either they've invested or they put their own rainy day money away so that they have 3 months of emergency funds, or they have financing that helps them to get through that. Okay. There's very few people, if Marie and I are what you call angel investors, and we invested in this company, and they come to us saying, "We got a problem. We need more money." Well, how much do you need? We need $10 million. Well, we already gave you 5. We ain't giving you 10. Because if you're having problems, we want to see what the problems are. What are you doing to fix it? Who are you hiring? What adjustments are you making? And if we don't feel comfortable that that's going to work, we can give them $10 million, because we're not losing another $10 million. Right, Marie?
You don't throw good money after bad. Absolutely not.
There it is, right there. Okay. So the point is that if investors are not going to do that, and if the company's not going to do that, you shouldn't do that. Here's what I mean. Look, new companies have a real big chance, 90%, as you know, that they could go out of business. Keep one foot in, one foot out. We're just highlighting the important points here, and realize that they could go out of business at any time. Meaning what? Pay your debt off as much as possible. Excuse me. And make sure that you build up a 3-month emergency supply of cash so that you have the ability to survive if the company goes out of business overnight. And remember, it's never overnight. They'll contact you and they'll say, "Hey, tomorrow we're closing the doors." That's what happened to me. Or your check stopped coming. And if the check stopped coming, you can guarantee that company's out of money. Okay, I can tell you that right now. So the point is, do not allow yourself to get caught, guys, with your pants down. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't do what I did. Okay, I don't know if Marie went through that, but I'll tell you, that put me in a financial spin. And boy, I had to work 3 jobs, and there's no joke. I had to work 3 jobs, and that sucked. And I was determined that I was not going to go under. And I fought like the dickens, and I don't ever want to go do that again. And that's the reason why I'm so adamant about making these points to you guys. Marie, you got any stories like that? Hopefully you don't. I don't want to hear them.
Well, I didn't land in as rough of a position as you did by any means, but obviously anytime you lose a significant portion of your income, that hurts, right?
Yes.
So the financial advice is always, have multiple streams of income. Use some of that income you have for investments elsewhere. So you're not just spending money. Have that emergency savings account available. And I'll tell you where I failed mainly, Rob, is that I knew there were issues, but I had this loyalty streak. I felt like I had to stick it out. It was, it was my responsibility to try to help make things better. And sometimes you just have to face the music and recognize it for what it is, And I learned the hard way that my loyalty shouldn't be to that network marketing company. My loyalty is to my business, which is providing for my family and accomplishing the goals that I want.
You bring up a very good point, one I had not thought of, and I agree with your viewpoint completely. That is something that I overlook, and folks heed her advice, because boy, that's a point that can really help you out. So, Marie, when that happened, I won't say that I was at the tail end of my career. I knew that, I think I've only been with 4 or 5 companies. To this day, I haven't added it up because I really don't care. I didn't jump around. I was, very picky, and I would have a year or 2 gap sometimes between companies. I wasn't just going from one to the other, although I've had plenty of opportunities. And guys, just to let you know, this does apply a little bit and kind of doesn't. But here's the thing. There's some companies that I didn't join because I did not feel comfortable with that company and what I found out. There's a couple of companies I joined that I did on purpose. For instance, I did join a laundry ring company. You know why I joined it? It was a binary. It was a one product company. You know why I did it? Because I wanted to find out how those companies worked so that I could teach other people what to be aware of. It's one thing to stand on the outside and point a finger at a company and say, you're no good, and assume that certain things about the company instead of knowing certain things about the company. That was not a fun thing. That was very hard for me to do. And it was a personal experiment on my own because I wanted to see the inside workings of this company. And I wanted to see how these one product companies made this work. Was I being presumptuous by assuming things about these one product companies, or was I accurate in because I'm pretty, there's a reason why people call me Dr. Rob. There's a reason why people call me all across the world, from all across the world, seeking help and advice on their businesses. It's because I understand this business model very well. I understand the complexities of it, the simplicities of it. I understand how it works. I know the problem areas and how to overcome them. So people would do that. But I gained that knowledge by sticking my feet in there and getting dirty. I didn't sit on the outside to read about it in a book. And sometimes it wasn't very nice. It was rather ugly. I've been around the shysters. Oh my gosh, I've been around those people. I've been around good, honest people. And I will say that the vast majority of people I've worked with have been very honest, hardworking people. But I'm very selective of who I work with and what companies I join. But here's the thing, folks. I've had people come to me and offer me at a minimum $20,000 a month to leave a company to go to another company, to be a part of a new company, because they understood what I brought to the table in the business building process that I could make happen rather quickly. Now, the reason I tell you that is because sometimes these were new companies. And I always tell you guys, get on the new company, get on a new company. But remember, I did the 5 things that a company must have. And also the people that were calling me, I did not feel comfortable with. I'll be honest with you, there was some things which I won't get into. Obviously, I'm not going to name any names or talk about their character. But there were some things there, number one, that I did not like about the person or the situation. And additionally, finally, how was I going to look my downline in the eye? I like being a very ethical person, a very honest person, and yet being paid a hard gun. I mean, that's what you end up being. It's one thing if a new company, and I'm not getting off topic here. It's one thing if a new company comes up and says, Rob, we need professional business builders, people that can build big businesses fast to help get the company off the ground. I get that. Okay, that's a totally different scenario than being with a company and somebody trying to hire you away from that company by waving big wads of cash in front of you. Okay, that means I'm selling my soul, and I don't mean literally, but that means I'm selling myself and my downline, because my downline is going to go with me, and they would have no knowledge of that. And I did not feel comfortable that that was ethical procedure. There's nothing wrong. It is business. There's nothing unethical and illegal about what these people were doing. They wanted my services. They realized those services were valuable, and they knew what I was going to bring to the table. They knew they were going to have to pay big money in order to get those services I brought. But at the same time, it wasn't ethical in regards to my downline. If I was a money-hungry person and totally focused on money and getting my ego stroked, then I would have taken the money and went. And there was times where that money would have been really nice. I mean, who couldn't use an extra, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, right? Not many people would turn that down, but I did, and I'm proud that I did. The money I made was honest, and as a result of hard work. The point is, when you're with a new company and you know that it's going down and you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, be very careful if people start calling you, because word gets out in the industry that you're a top-notch business builder, okay? And just keep that in mind. So that this story I just told you does relate to the topic we're addressing right now. Hopefully you guys never have to do that. Hopefully the company you join is going to be around for a long time. But remember, and I'll say this as we close, we're talking about new companies a lot. Realize that with a new company, guys, if it sticks around, let's say it's going to be around for 10 years. We're looking at a crystal ball, we can see it's going to be around for 10 years. Guys, at the 3 to 5 year mark, you got a decision to make. There's only 2 decisions to make here. Either retire from there's 3. Retire from the industry altogether. Walk away, you made your money, you got the lifestyle, and you become a figurehead for your downline, which is an important role. That's an advanced technique. We'll talk about that some other day. We have it in our members area about those advanced techniques. Because if you want to keep your business together and keep it profitable and growing and thriving, you got to become a professional figurehead. But that's a story for another day. The other thing is walk away completely. Don't even be a figurehead. Sell your business if you want. Get out of the industry altogether and go and enjoy life. The third one, stay with the company until it stops. Those are the 3 options. It's not like I make the rules, but I'm just saying those are the most common options that are available to you if you build a successful residual machine that's throwing off cash. That's typically how people leave the industry. I will say this, if you ask me, and it's all based on the personal situation. Your situation could dictate that one is more important than the other, but here's the thing. If somebody says, Rob, what would you recommend? I always started off by saying, your business, you have to do what you have to do. You know your life situation. That should dictate what you do. But if you can ride it out and you can stay with that company for 20 years, do it. Stay with that company, collect that money. You worked hard for it. Think about Richard Call. He's still with New Skin. He's not active. But the money that he's made since he just walked away is incredible, guys. You worked hard for that money. You put together a wonderful business building machine. Why walk away from that? Okay? You will have an incredible lifestyle. They'll parade you out. They'll treat you like a king. They'll promote you all the time. They'll write stories about you. They'll create videos about you. You'll be on corporate level vacations. Why would you give up that incredible lifestyle? Because if you're making $3 million a year, you're going to get $1 million worth of promotion and gifts and free things on the side from the company. Why give that up? So, Marie, that's my input on today's subject. Did any of that make sense, or did I just blow it all?
No, I think it makes great sense. And again, it's just, this industry is unlike anything else that's available out there to the average person to become exceptional, right?
Absolutely. And that's the thing that you and I keep harping on, is that we want to make sure that people understand the industry and what they have a hold of and how important, what an important role it can play in their life. And as we said, guys, look, it's hard work. It's very gratifying. I'm telling you, when you get it done, it is so gratifying. You'll smile from ear to ear for a year, and you'll glow on the inside, and you should. Okay, it's not a Mount Everest trip, but it's certainly a big hill trip, if you will. It's not going to be easy. And when I mean we're going up that hill, I mean that's a pretty steep hill that could be called a mountain, if you will, but not a Mount Everest. And you're not taking anything but a walking stick, okay? Because boy, it could be a daunting task. But the great thing is you have people like us that have been there before you. We teach the basics in the industry. You don't have to look anyplace else. We keep it simple. 5 simple steps. That's all it takes. And we talk about those all the time. Constant source of high quality leads, a message that resonates with high quality people, doing a 90-day mini blast, and find and work with your leaders. That is the essentials of the business, period. You can't take any of those steps out, because if you do, the rest of them break down. If you don't talk to people, you're not going to build a business. If you don't have leads, you don't have the ability to build a business. Okay, if you don't do a 90-day mini blast, you don't have the ability to create the momentum that's necessary to create the residual income machine you want. Okay, or the big money. And working and finding and working with leaders, that is the essence of the business. Period. I don't care what anybody tells you. The essence of the business is finding and working with leaders, meaning that you have duplicated yourself. And how do you ensure duplication? 5 simple steps. If you burden people down with a lot of crap, they are not going to do it. They're going to say, that's too much. I can't do that. That's too burdensome. I can't memorize all that. I can't buy all those tools, business building tools. I can't do it. No tools. 5 simple steps, no tools. The only thing you got to do is develop a constant source of high quality leads, which down the road we're going to bring with our I Need Leads website, which I'll bring up real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. But if somebody doesn't have this, then guess what? You're in big trouble, because you got to have a constant source of high quality leads that are pre-qualified, and that's what this did. And when I developed this years ago, I had no idea how powerful and successful it was. I had people from across the world contact me, email and calling me saying, I'll buy that site from you. Please put that site up. I put that up for myself because I was thinking about coming back in the industry, and I wanted to test this to see what kind of leads it would generate. I was blown away. In my wildest dreams, I never thought this would work the way it did. And it's incredible. And because of technology, I was not able to take it to the masses. It was too unsecure, too unstable, and the bandwidth cost too much. So the point is, once you get the lead thing under control, the other steps that are there, it's all portable, meaning that it's with you. There's nothing else to buy. Okay. Now, I'd encourage you to get our membership, because you're going to have access to a lot of great information that's going to help you expand. Because I'm going to tell you something, as we close here, and we are closing, because I got to make these important points. As your business takes off, there's a whole new set of rules that take place that you got to know about to maintain that momentum. You worked hard to get it going. You laid that proper foundation, and now your business starting to take off. You better know how to deal with those leaders. You better know how to work with them. You better be there for them. You better know what to say and what to do for them. You better be a proven leader so that they have confidence in you. If you don't, those leaders are gone. Okay? And that's a whole different ballgame. So once you get this thing rolling, we're teaching you how to get it rolling. But once you get that baby rolling, you better be a member of our website, because I'm going to tell you, you're not going to get this information and training anywhere else. And you want 24/7 access to that training so that you can say, man, am I glad I'm a member of this, because I have access to this information. I need that because I'm overwhelmed here. I don't know what to do next. That's going to happen. You're not going to get that training anyplace else, nowhere. And imagine all your downline being a part of the members area. That way duplication takes place. You don't have to be on the phone. You don't have to do Zoom presentations. You can say, look, you need to be a member here, and you need to go to module number 1 or module number 2 or module 10. You need to download that document, short read, and watch that video. If you have any questions after that, call me. Let's talk. It will speed up your process exponentially. Who wouldn't want that? That helps you get from point A to point B very, very quickly. It's the reason why we created the members area, because I got tired of being on the freaking phone all the time. It sucked. I didn't have a life. So, man, it is really dark here. It's almost nighttime, and it's what? 12:15. Well, Marie, I have ranted enough. As you know, I try to finish the points. I don't want to leave people hanging. I always want to make sure that I clarify the message that we're putting out in that last segment there was very important because, I don't want people to think that what we talk about today in the good, in the bad, and the ugly is the end of the story. It leads into another story, which you and I we don't have time to talk about it. We're not talking about advanced stuff anyway. That's for people that are serious business builders and they're willing to spend the money. And spending the money it's not what it is. Guys, you're investing. It's tax deductible. Okay, you talk to your tax person, but these are things that are tax deductible. Guys, you're investing in your future. It's money well spent. Agree?
Absolutely. It's skill building. And that's one of the things, even coming out of those failed companies, the ones we knew were coming, or even the ones that took us by surprise, we walked away with the skills so we could go employ them again elsewhere.
Yeah.
We don't lose out. Again, it's the personal responsibility. It's our business. It's our skill set. And you can take that and apply it in another company if you choose to, or in another avenue of passion that you want to pursue.
Right. And the great thing is the things that we're teaching people are the essentials. I don't care if you're looking at the industry for the first time. We are sharing with you information on how to evaluate a company, on how to evaluate the business, comp plans, all of that. If you're in the business right now and struggling, we touch on subject matter and provide guidance and help to help your business go to the next level. If you have built a nice business, $1,000 or more per month, and you seem to have plateaued and you can't get any further guidance, or the business building plan that you're using currently will not allow you to go any further, we're here for you as well, because we touch on advanced techniques that will help take your business to the next level. The answers to this business, when you run into problems, are easy answers. It's just that you got to be able to find somebody that can give you those easy answers, and we do that. And it's proven input. And additionally, just to let you guys know, there's always an easy answer to the problems in network marketing, but here's the best answer of all. We share this information so that you can avoid the issues altogether. If we make you aware of the pitfalls of the industry, it helps you to avoid going through that road bump, okay, that pothole, if you will, which could slow you down or even damage your business beyond repair. You don't want to do that. Do you want to put in all that work and have it destroyed? No. Well, guess what? We're one of the few that will talk about the good and the bad and the ugly and all the other things and tell you, hey, watch out. For instance, this is not a promo, and this is, Marie knows about this product. Look, what not to do in network marketing. Okay. Let me tell you, that is a powerful book. It's chock full of 147 what to do and what not to do in network marketing. Okay. For all of you on the podcast, I had a picture of the product up online. There's 147 audio files that are real life examples of the paragraphs that are in there. The paragraphs are like this. The first paragraph is what not to do. And then the following paragraph in the same subject is what to do. Why? So that you can become a focused business building machine and you can avoid the pitfalls this industry has, the challenges that are sure to come. Okay. And that is a powerful reference material that allows you to be that business building machine, a focused business building machine, able to get from point A to point B quickly. Here's another one: 4 critical mistakes most network marketers make and how to overcome them. Even the veterans make these mistakes, folks. Okay. And if you're making these mistakes, they eat away at the foundation that you're putting in place during your 90-day mini blast. Okay. Why would you work your tail end off for 90 days and give that commitment and you're making these 4 critical mistakes, or even one of the 4 critical mistakes, and you don't even realize you're making that mistake, and it's eating away at the very foundation you're putting in place. At the end of the 90 days, you're looking around saying, how in the hell did this happen? I worked my tail end off and I only got half I was really rolling there for a while, and then half of my business went away. It's because you're making one of these 4 mistakes. This is not a promo. Where else are you going to get that information? How do you think we learn those? Because we lived it. That's why we went through those mistakes. We had to learn the hard way. You don't have to. That's the reason why I showed you those products. Okay. And that's what you get in the members area, access to all that kind of information. So, Miss Marie, we have so many products for people. It's unbelievable. You've seen the breadth of products, and you understand, and you've just seen a small sampling because you just haven't had the time to go through all of it. But what you have seen is really quite amazing and overwhelming, actually.
A wealth of information that, yeah, absolutely needs to be leveraged if you want to be successful in this industry. And one of the smartest lessons out there that you can learn is learn from others' mistakes. Why repeat the same mistakes yourself? Learn from those that have gone before you, and skip over the mistakes helps you become successful that much quicker. It
does. And on top of that, Miss Marie, the products that you have been exposed to, you just haven't had time to go through them all yet, because like I said, it's a lot, folks. But you haven't seen those anyplace else.
No, not available anywhere else. Haven't seen it.
No, and they're relevant, are they not? They're not just fluff material. They're hitting hardcore subjects that people need to know about. The threshold of profitability, the 90-day mini blast, how to get off on the right step, the 5 steps to success. And timing is everything. Talking about finding the right company at the right time so you can maximize the financial opportunity it presents, and what to look for in that company. You're not going to find those documents anyplace else. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely. And the key again is you get your hands on the information, and don't just get lost in all of the information that's available. Take it piece by piece and execute on it. Apply it to your business. Use it, take advantage of it.
And the great thing is, folks, as we close, it's only, most of these documents, only 8 pages to 20 pages, written in big fonts. It's not dense material, and it's an easy read. I made sure that when I created these documents that they were concise and to the point, but at the same time, an easy read. I did not want people to mentally struggle to understand and comprehend the material. That's not the purpose, okay? So the thing is that there again, I just scratched the surface, and Marie's been exposed to a lot of that. And she's very familiar with this material. What she wasn't familiar with is all the books that I've written, and all the, I'm trying to think, I really wouldn't say the word product. I guess, what would you call it? I guess items that I've created addressing different subject matters that are relevant. And, I don't have anything that's a throwaway. All of it is relevant to the, and she's right. If you're in the beginning phases of building a business, even though you have access to all this information, you want to stay focused on information that's prevalent to you just getting started out, right? Like the 4 critical mistakes, and the music to the ears, things like that are relevant to you just starting out. All the other documents and videos and audio files and everything else is something that's there for you when you're ready for the move to the next phase. So the reason I tell you that is you have a breadth of information at your fingertips 24/7. And not only you, as you build your business, your downline can have access to that as well. And that is a powerful thing. And we give special pricing to complete organizations so that everybody gets a great deal. We're not here to gouge you. We're here to give you a deal. Okay. We take care of you. And guess what? We ensure our future and our success as well. I've always had that business model. I give more than what I get paid. In other words, I deliver above and beyond what the price is. And I love doing that because I love helping people, and I don't want to take advantage of people. It's the same here in the members area. And so if you have an organization that you want to bring to the members area, we can give you a heck of a deal because we want everybody to have the same access to this great information. All right, Marie, we are done. I am glad that we had today. Today was a good one. It was an important subject, and we really nailed, I think, everything that people need to know about the good and the bad and the ugly. We'll have another good and bad and the ugly in the freelance in the future, because there's other subject matter that falls in that category that we did not address today.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's 2 weeks today that you have been on board. I'm tickled pink. I really like how we get along. I really like the flow that we're developing. I know that we're going to continue to get better and better. It's just like anything else in life. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And we're certainly going to be in that category as well. And I look forward to that. And guess who's the beneficiary? You guys, all of you out there are going to benefit. And we're going to continue to evolve this program into something special. Right now, we're getting our feet under us. We've made a number of adjustments to the website and other things to reflect the changes that are taking place. And because I'm a one-man operation, it takes time. You guys that follow me know that it is a daunting task to handle all the social media platforms and make the necessary adjustments and do the members area and create all the other stuff. So I only have 24 hours, even though I try to get 28 into 24. It doesn't always work. So, Marie, you got anything to say as we close?
I don't think so. Just stay safe out there, and everybody have a great weekend.
Yep. And folks, once again, we will see you Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. You're going to see changes next week, good changes. And please follow us and share and everything else. As you know, we depend on you to help get the message out. As you can see, this is great material. Please help and empower our fellow network marketers across the world so they have a chance at changing their lives with this great information and this incredible business model. With that combination, how can you not succeed? Fail. Anyway, that's enough. That's a sign for sure for me to get off here. Marie, I'll see you at 11 a.m. Monday. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will see everybody at the same time. Take care, guys.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.